Hello again. So glad you could join Derek, Daisy and I for another exciting foray into the world of health and safety. These guidelines are nothing new. They were set out in the Health and Safety at Work Act of 1974. Groovy. So, let's start on a high note, shall we? Working at heights. Occasionally we need something that's just out of reach, and until personal jetpacks are perfected, we have to make do with stepladders and kickstools. Oh, whoopsie. Now, before you all go ascending willy-nilly, we just need to check a few things. First, do a quick visual inspection to make sure that the equipment is in proper working order. Oh, Derek. Really? Okay, so does everything look shipshape? But how can we be sure? Well, every ladder and stool should have an in-date inspection tag. Yes, that's the fellow. Be sure to double-check that the tag doesn't say, "Do not use." Self-explanatory, really. Also, these tags can be found on equipment moving trolleys and trucks. So, you're confident that the equipment can be trusted. What's next? Shoes. You should always make sure that you're wearing the appropriate footwear. No. Oh, good grief. Yes, that's more like it. Marvellous. As tempting as it may be, don't use the equipment for too long. 30 minutes maximum should be just right. Oh dear, that was definitely too long. Perhaps we should move on. Now, we need to talk about manual handling. Manual handling is the process of ensuring that you don't risk injuring yourself or others while lifting or moving an object. Okay, moving on. That looks refreshing. Oh, crikey. I think now would be a good time to talk about COSH, or the control of substances hazardous to health. Now, because ordinary household items like this can be dangerous, the university has legal obligations under COSH. But it's important that you should know these things too. Always ensure the containers are clearly marked with whatever the contents are. And never tip chemicals down the sink or any other drains. They must be disposed of properly. Oopsie. Also, it's worth noting that any spilled liquids must be reported so they can be cleaned up. We wouldn't want anyone to slip now, would we? Now, if you're planning any activities on campus, or even if you're doing something university-related off campus, you'll need to fill in a risk assessment. These can be done either on paper or online, and are very important because they help to show what harm could befall yourself or others, and what steps have been taken to prevent that harm. It's not all about paperwork, it's about being safe. You can find out more and see a copy of the risk assessment form here. The end of the year show is a perfect example of when you might need a risk assessment, as there are likely to be trip hazards, trailing cables and all sorts to consider. It's a very busy period and people work in close proximity to each other. We wouldn't want to see any accidents. Derek, honestly. Well, that's all once again from myself and the health and safety team. Stay safe, Portsmouth, and study hard.